Today on Commander Replay, find out what happens when I forget to put Sunforger in this Jeskai Sunforger deck. Can we still find a path to victory? Find out next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, I'd like to take a second to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Just to let you guys know, I do have a Twitter page now, so feel free to check me out on Twitter at Commander Replay. Welcome back everyone, playing some Jeskai Sunforger today with Ishai, Ojutai Dragonspeaker, and Krom Ludvek's Opus at the helm. And today we're going to be facing off some pretty strong decks in Sheoldred the Whispering One, Karametra God of Harvests, and Ramos Dragon Engine. All three opponents today are Patreon supporters of the channel, so welcome them to the game. And I did tell them before the game that they're going to want something pretty strong. This Jeskai Sunforger deck is not really looking to make friends. One thing kind of led to another, and then I noticed I had Academy Ruins in the deck, and then Academy Ruins turns into Oblivion Stone and Mindslaver. So yeah, lots of combo potential in this deck. We draw into an Arid Mesa. Let us... I'm actually going to play the Mountain right here, because I want to get a Mistveil Plains with the Arid Mesa when I can. And we're going to lay down the Soul Ring, and we will pass the turn. Oh, I should have did that different. I should have played a multicolor land. Crap. Here comes a Sunscape Familiar for the Karametra. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I wish I played a blue or a white land, because then we could have got Dragonspeaker on turn 2, and that would have been pretty good. So, mistakes already. Awesome. Here comes an Enlightened Tutor for the Ramos. So in addition to the artifact win conditions, we also have the Sunforger loop with Chance for Glory and Angel's Grace with Mistveil Plains. So lots of different things to be doing in this deck. Let's drop down this... what are we doing this turn? I guess we can just play the Oblivion Stone. Like, even if it gets blown up, eventually we'll just run into Academy Ruins and get it back. Well, this should distract our opponents quite a bit and might slow them down, and slowing people down, always a good place to be. Play the Arid Mesa, crack the Arid Mesa, and this time we'll get a Mistveil Plains. Pass the turn. So another thing that I'm running in the deck, I'm also running a Maria in a 3-color deck. I have built the land base in such a way that there are 8 planes in this deck. It will be really difficult to get active and will probably take some shenanigans. But we do have a Sword of the Animist, which can speed up that plan a little bit. But should the game go really long, we can start getting back a few of the creatures that we have. So we'll want to be cognizant about which lands we're fetching for. And whenever we can fetch for a multicolored plains, we'll want to be doing that. District Guide coming down for the Karametra. Enters the battlefield, search for a basic land or a gate, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. Ooh, and a Rites of Flourishing. So I was talking to Kithron before the game. They are piloting the Ramos deck. It's a Maze's End deck, but they said it's also a little bit group huggy. So Rites of Flourishing going to be pretty good for what we're trying to do right here. The Rites of Flourishing will trigger. We draw into an Ojutai's Command and a Steam Vents. So I'm going to go Polluted Delta, crack the Polluted Delta, get a Tundra, then play Krom, or actually, maybe we go Ishai. I actually think I like Ishai right here because opponents are probably going to start coughing stuff out this turn, and it should get pretty big. And then we can play the Steam Vents. Actually, Tithe is a thing that we can do. So, play the Bloodstained Mire. Did we go first? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Ramos, we should be able to tithe, I think, during Ramos's turn, which seems pretty good. So, Shriekmaw coming down. I think Ishai is not going to be long for this world. Yep, gonna shoot down the Ishai. Sounds good to me. Oh, Sheoldred. As someone who has played a lot of Sheoldred, it was actually my first deck, and the deck that I played before I got into Boros, I actually played a lot of Sheoldred. And Mono Black, pretty good. And once you get going, something like a Fleshbag Marauder into a Sheoldred, and by that point, no one probably has their commander in play. So, pretty good. Opponent's going to Krosan Grip the Oblivion Stone. Yeah, that's fine. It was more of a distraction tactic. So, Krosan Grip going to eat the Oblivion Stone, and once we get Sunforger going, that's that piece of removal is now gone. So, Sunforger that much more likely to stick around. And again, we have Academy Ruins, so if we run into that, we can find it. We do have Expedition Map to find it. I think there's about 5 ways to tutor for Sunforger in this deck. Various things like Tezzeret, Fabricate, Word of Invention, and then, of course, the white tutors as well. Guild Summit coming down. I'm not familiar with that one. When it enters the battlefield, you may tap any number of untapped gates you control. Draw a card for each gate tapped this way. Well, that seems pretty good. And then says, whenever a gate enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Yep. That's probably pretty good in a Maze's End deck. Potentially even a target worth shooting. Here comes a gate. Opponent's going to get to draw another card. Yep, seems pretty good. Opponent's going to tap out and pass. So right here, we're going to crack the Bloodstained Mire, get Plateau. We have 4 lands. Opponent has more than 4 lands, so we're going to play the Tithe. Get some plains. We'll get, let's see. Let's get the Prairie Stream, and I guess just a basic. So that's going to bring it back to our turn. We draw another land and a Render Silent. That seems pretty good. Do we need to start countering things just yet? Ramos might be on the way soon. That's something to think about. How much mana will we have? We have 5, 6. We have 6. So we'll go up to 8 mana, which means we could potentially play Crom and then hold up Render Silent. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. Prairie Stream, 2 or more basics. So play the basic, play the Prairie Stream. Let's go for Crom. Make sure we hold up the proper colors of mana. Uh-oh. Yep, should have did that differently. We only have 1, 2 blue sources. We need a third. Well, we're probably going to get a crack with Ramos then, so we'll cast Crom. Man, 2 mistakes already. Having trouble with the mana colors. When's the last time I played 3-color? Actually, you know what? So this turn, I assume opponents will probably go Karametra and Ramos, and then we can hit them both with the Crushed Contraband. Might be a decent place to be. Sheoldred behind, so I don't think we need to worry about them too much right now. Gonna send a little Pokesies into the Karametra. Sheoldred lays down a Waste Knot. They appear to be missing more land drops, though, and that's really not where you want to be. Opponent says he's about to make a lot of mana. Well, this should be interesting. Here comes a Beacon of Creation. Sure. You get a 1/1 insect token for each forest they control, which is a couple. They get 4 tokens. And then here comes Karametra. We will get to draw as opponent is casting their second spell this turn. It's a Worn Power Stone. Gonna send the Guide into us. Yep, we'll take 2. Here comes Ramos. Yep. I'm actually not that worried about Waste Knot yet, since I don't really know why you would run Waste Knot in a Sheoldred deck. It tends to work best with wheel effects. Unless they're on like a heavy discard theme, but they're also really stuck on lands. With the additional land plays out from Rites of Flourishing, they've missed 3 land drops already. That's pretty rough, so falling pretty far behind and not really where you want to be. Though I suppose with Rites, as soon as the rest of us run out of lands, they could potentially catch up, like if board wipes start happening and things. There's Stoneforge Mystic. That can find our Sunforger. So I think this turn, let's get down this Worn Power Stone. Let's get down some blue lands. Play the Steam Vents untapped. Play this. Do we go for the Scalding Tarn? Let's actually get the plains down. We could actually leave up Ojutai's Command and Render Silent. Or we could leave up only 1 counter. Actually, I think we need a Crushed Contraband is what we're going to be doing. So get rid of Ramos, get rid of Karametra. So Ramos and Karametra go down. There's a lot of tokens on board. Probably not actually worth attacking in this moment. As much as it pains me to not attack the 4/4 flyer. So Sheoldred finally hitting a land. The best thing that they could probably do is like Ambition's Cost into another land. And that's really where I think they'd want to be. Here comes a Mana Vault. Oop, that means Sheoldred's probably on the way. No, they are 1 short. Ooh, that's lucky. Definitely means Sheoldred next turn, though. Ophiomancer. And we'll get to draw a card. And a Liliana Heretical Healer. Sure. So Ophiomancer triggers and Rites of Flourishing triggers. Ophiomancer gets a 1/1 Death Touch Snake. Here comes Karametra. So Karametra back to play. Opponent has 2 gates in play currently, so they got a ways to go before they start getting close on the Ramos. They do have a Strip Mine down, which we'll need to be careful. We have a couple key lands, Mistveil Plains, Academy Ruins, and Ameria are lands that we would love to not be strip mined. We do have a Crucible of Worlds to get them back, but, you know, we will need to jump through hoops should that start happening. Here comes a Commander Sphere, sure. Here comes a Diabolic Tutor. Someone told me you let the tutor resolve and then you counter the thing that they go for. We draw into a Misty Rainforest, sure. I mean, they may be tutoring for the Maze's End, unknown. We do have a Strip Mine in our deck as well, though. Crack and draw with the Commander Sphere, sure. Yep, there's the Maze's End, so that is probably what they tutored for. That's going to bring it back to our turn. We draw Crucible of Worlds and Whir of Invention. Both really good cards. So I'm going to play the Stoneforge Mystic right now. And while I'm doing this, I'm also going to take stock of what lands are left in the deck for these 2 fetches that we have. Wow, did I really forget to put Sunforger in the deck? Oh my god. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, Lord. Alright, so what we're going to do right here, since we don't have Sunforger, oh my god. Play a land, crack a land, get the volcanic island, crack the scalding tarn, get a... Go for the tap land, actually, since we have Feast and Famine. Get down this Feast and Famine, equip this Feast and Famine, play this Crucible of Worlds. I think I'm going to swing into the Ramos. Opponent takes a hit with the Feast and Famine. They take 6 commander, go to 32. Waste Not will trigger one time. They discard a Fumigate. Our land's on tap. And then we're going to sit on a steady stream of counters and War of Invention for something real nasty at the end step. Probably something like Mindslaver, honestly. Gauntlet of Power coming down for the Sheoldred. Name's Black. That's an Elesh Norn for the Karametra. How do I feel about that? Which one's this counter? This counters creature spells? Yeah, not great. Feel not great about that. So we're going to counter the Elesh Norn and draw a card. It's a Leon and a bonus. And a Crucible of Worlds we'll get to draw with Crom. We draw into a Rhystic Study. Opponent's going to swing into us with everything they have. Yep, we will block one with the Stoneforge Mystic. We go down to 26. Opponent's going to use the Maze's End. Yep, they draw a card. There's a Tatiova. That's a pretty good one. Do we want them to have a Tatiova? I guess it's fine. So opponent plays a gate. They get to draw 2 cards. One from the Guild Summit and the other from Tatiova. Not enough to whir for Mindslaver right here. Opponent discards some stuff. Opponent discards a Swarm Intelligence. Wonder if that should be in this deck, actually. It's kind of one of those big things you have to tap out for, though, which is not great. There's a Fabricate. That also gets us to the Mindslaver. Let's drop some lands right here. Want to get this Rhystic Study down. Even though opponents have a lot of lands, it's still annoying. If they're trying to cast a lot of spells a turn, then we'll be doing a lot of card drawing. Opponent's going to try an Arcane Denial, the Rhystic Study. I want the Rhystic Study, so I'm actually going to... Nah, it's not worth it. Because we'll draw 2 cards anyway. So I think we should save the Render Silent for a board wipe. Or something that potentially ends the game. So Rhystic Study down. I think we pass like this and just War of Invention, Render Silent as needed. Oh, right, we can do this. We have Sword of Feast and Famine. Right. Send a shot into the Karametra. So they're going to get hit by the Sword of Feast and Famine trigger. We're going to tap out all of our lands. Play this War of Invention. Get Mindslaver. Lands on tap. Waste Not triggers. Opponent discards a Living Plane. That's funny. I bet Sheoldred has removal. I wonder what the 5-color opponent has also. We're going to steal the 5-color opponent's next... We're going to steal the Ramos opponent's next turn. So we control their next turn. Pretty dirty. Play the Abunis. Our artifacts now have hexproof. We'll get to draw 2 cards from the Arcane Denial. We get an Angel's Grace and Plains. Opponent's going to Vampiric Tutor, sure. Opponent's going to play a Smallpox. Each player discards a card, sacrifices a creature, then sacrifices a land. I'm thinking not on the Smallpox, right? We should draw first. See if we catch another counter. We get Odds and Ends. That's a fun one. And then we will Render Silent the Smallpox. Song of Freyalise for our opponent. Their creatures can add a bunch of mana. They only have 1 card in hand, though, so that's going to be kind of rough for them. So that brings it to Ramos's turn. They have, what do they have? A Jund Charm. That's interesting. Abzan Charm. You can exile a creature, draw 2 cards, distribute 2 counters. Jund Charm can do 2 damage each creature. That seems pretty good. So I think we'll start with that. Opponent has approached the second sun in hand. That's a pretty good one. Opponent's going to play Join Shields. Untap all creatures you control. They gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Seems pretty good. We will exile opponent's Tatiova. Oops, needs a green. Crom will trigger. There's a Steel Shaper's Gift. Not so helpful without Sunforger. Jund Charm resolves. That was all on opponent's upkeep, by the way. Rites of Flourishing will trigger. Get to draw an additional card. It's a Honden of the Seeing Winds. Rakdos Charm, huh? Any artifacts we need to destroy? There's a Crucible of Worlds. Gauntlet's pretty good. It's Rakdos Charm, the Gauntlet. Said I like his deck so much I want to play it. Yep. I know. Mindslaver feels terrible. Liliana's going to flip over. Strip Mine on the Maze's End. And that seems like enough damage to our opponent. So that brings it back to our turn. And we draw a Suffocating Blast and Expedition map. Crack the Expedition map. Get Academy Ruins. Play Academy Ruins. Play a Plains. So opponents agreeing to scoop it right there with the Mindslaver loop. Two of our opponents don't have any interaction with it. I don't know what Sheoldred has in their hand, but... Yep, so gonna have to replay this one and actually put Sunforger in the deck.